What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Slipher The Sky Dragon, back at it again. Music brought to you by Freeme Addicted Music. Title is called Music, No Vocals 2024, Best of EDM, Best of No Copyright Sounds. We're also trying a new thing today, along with our gameplay, called MrBallen Scary Stories. Top 3 strange but true, 3 of the worst choices I've ever seen. Mature audiences only. And we'll be right back.
Sometimes the truth Sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction. And today we're going to look at 3 stories that demonstrate that. But before we get into those stories, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place because that's all we do and we upload once a week. So if that's of interest to you, please invite the like button to go on an all-expenses-paid trip to Venice, Italy, and the second you're both in a gondola, push them into the canal. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. Okay, let's get into today's stories. On April 16th, 2024, a 42-year-old woman named Erica Nunes and her 68-year-old uncle named Paulo Braga arrived at a bank in the Brazilian city of Rio de Janeiro in a cab. Erica got out of the back seat first and then asked the driver to wait so she could go inside the bank to get a wheelchair for her uncle because recently he had been sick with pneumonia in the hospital. She found one in the lobby and then wheeled it back outside. When she got back to the cab, the driver helped her lift her uncle Paulo into the wheelchair, and then afterward, Erica thanked the driver, and then she wheeled her uncle up to the bank, and as she got near the door, a bank attendant came out and opened up the door for them to go inside. Erica smiled at the attendant. Her uncle had been living with her for the past 8 months, and so
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Slipher The Sky Dragon, back at it again. I'm sorry, I totally messed that up. This is just a test run. Sorry about that. I had the microphone turned off again. So what we're doing here is we're going to run some scary stories from MrBallen. I do like this dude. He tells pretty good stories. He has nice, like, I think they're called afflictions, like when you talk. Sorry about kind of ruining that by stopping it and talking over it. But yeah, so in the beginning, you guys will hear the music, the intro, everything will be set to the way it normally is, and then once we get into the game, we're going to switch over to the scary stories. This is something that I want to do. I was saying this a second ago, you guys just couldn't hear me, that I want to start doing this kind of more like at nighttime, find these like super scary stories and play them while we're gaming. So it's like a tester thing. I want to see if maybe when I do the nighttime stream, just kind of run scary stories in the background. We're getting into Halloween, so instead of doing like more music, we're going to do like scary stories and stuff like that. So this is MrBallen. He does scary stories. He also has another channel called MrBallen Medical Mysteries. So if you guys haven't checked that out, please check it out. This is my other channel. I haven't subscribed to him, so if you guys enjoy the stories, please check him out, subscribe. He's got a tour. He just started doing these live, so he'll go to like different venues and tell these scary stories live in person. So if you guys get a chance to check him out, please do so. He hasn't put one up for my area yet, so I haven't been able to see him live, but I have watched a lot of his videos, so we're just going to kind of have it in the background. We'll be talking over it a little bit sometimes. Hopefully this doesn't throw a flag. I don't think it will, because we're not going to show the video. We're just going to be playing the audio. So I'm hoping that everything kind of works out.
Erica was pretty accustomed to some level of caretaking, but it had gotten a lot harder recently with her uncle being in the hospital with pneumonia, and so Erica was just exhausted, and so little gestures like this were very appreciated. But despite her exhaustion, today was a really good day for Erica, because her uncle was so appreciative for all the help that he had actually offered to go to this bank with her today and take out a loan for her in his name so she could do some much needed repairs around her house. So Erica and her uncle made their way through the bank towards the front desk and then told the attendant that they needed to see a loan officer. She explained that they had already called ahead and her uncle had been approved for a loan. He was just here now to sign the paperwork. The attendant nodded and then typed a few things on their computer and then came out from behind the desk and led Erica and her uncle to a desk in back to wait for the loan officer. A minute later, when Erica saw the loan officer approaching the desk, she stood up and smiled and was about to say hello, but the loan officer did not smile back. Instead, she just glared at Erica and her uncle in a way that made Erica feel very uncomfortable. And then, instead of shaking their hands, the loan officer just turned around and walked away. Erica looked around in confusion and then sort of sat down awkwardly, feeling worried and also a little annoyed. She turned and watched as this loan officer continued walking away and then stopped next to some employee. She bent down and whispered something in the employee's ear, and Erica watched as this employee's eyes went wide as she heard whatever the loan officer said. And then this loan officer and that employee, they got up and they vanished into a back room of the bank. So now Erica was feeling really weird about all of this. She turned to her uncle and she saw he couldn't even meet her eyes. So she reached out and just began massaging his neck and shoulders. A little while later, the loan officer would come back to the desk, and this time she was carrying this huge stack of papers, and she placed it on the desk in front of Erica's uncle. But instead
I will be finding
huge amount of paperwork
like other YouTubers that tell stories that have like a little bit more maybe sound or
eventually the loan officer
tell stories a little bit better. I like this guy. I don't know. Maybe it's just something about his voice.
Erica went from feeling just uncomfortable to feeling sort of afraid. I mean, this was definitely not normal bank behavior, even for a seemingly very rude employee. But Erica decided to kind of ignore the weirdness and just get her uncle started on the paperwork. But after a few minutes, Erica began to hear the sound of emergency sirens outside the bank. And when she looked up, she saw all these police and first responders running towards her. The video that loan officer shot that day of Erica and her uncle went viral in Brazil. In this video, Erica is seen smiling and attempting to help her uncle sign this paperwork, and she's obviously holding up her uncle's head. But her uncle is not weak from illness. Her uncle is dead. In fact, he had died hours before Erica had brought him to the bank. Now, Erica later claimed that she had no idea her uncle was dead. However, it was very obvious to everyone around her, which is why all the bank employees were acting so strange. Erica was arrested and held for 16 days before being released on bail. She faces charges of abusing a corpse and attempted theft through fraud. Her case has not yet been adjudicated.
Damn, that's crazy.
Thanks to DraftKings for sponsoring this. With the football season kicking off, it's the perfect time to dive into the action with my partners at DraftKings, the #1 place to bet on touchdowns. $50 celebrate. The draft $50 betting only to bet on all. So download the DraftKings $5. Okay?
Trying to skip through stuff
On the night
that
of October 20th, 2021,
might get me
two young
flagged.
couples were hanging out inside of a little home in the woods in Henderson County, North Carolina. The couples were Rachel and her fiance Chris,
All right, let's
and
try
their friends
that.
Autumn and Jake, whose home it was. Rachel and Autumn were in the kitchen preparing to dye Rachel's hair over the sink. Jake and Chris were in the living room discussing the very strange sightings of a black panther that had been reported all over town in recent days. So, North Carolina does have big cats, including panthers. After all, their professional football team is named the Carolina Panthers. However, the panthers in North Carolina are typically of the brownish color, not the pitch black variety like the panther that was apparently prowling all over Henderson County in recent days. Nonetheless, Chris was absolutely convinced that he had seen this black panther about a week ago when he was out walking his and Rachel's new puppy. He swore the panther had been following him in the tree line around his property, and he had been afraid it was thinking about attacking his dog. Ever since, he told Jake he'd been nervous walking around his property outside, and so he'd begun to carry a gun for protection. Jake was in the middle of telling Chris that he too was now carrying a gun around for the same reason when they were interrupted by Rachel calling for Chris from the kitchen. Jake and Chris got up off the couch and walked into the kitchen, where Rachel told them that she'd been trying to show Autumn a YouTube video about how to dye hair at home when her phone had died. And so she asked Chris if he wouldn't mind going back to their apartment and getting her a phone charger. Now, obviously, Chris was not thrilled about going into the woods at night, with this panther roaming around, but he loved his fiance and would do anything for her, and he had his gun, so he said he would go. And as Chris headed to the door to leave, Jake said, "Hold on a minute." He grabbed his flashlight and grabbed his gun and told Chris he would tag along and watch his buddies back. The two guys said they'd be back in a minute, and then they walked out the door. A light wind rustled the leaves of the trees as Jake and Chris set out on the little path that connected their two homes. They both stayed absolutely quiet as they walked because they wanted to make sure they could hear any indication of this panther being nearby. But all they could hear was the wind, some crickets, and an owl hooting in the distance. But about halfway down the path, Chris suddenly heard something coming from the woods and instinctively shot out his hand to stop Jake in his tracks. They both froze, and then Jake raised his flashlight and shined it at the underbrush where Chris was saying he had heard noise. And for a second, all they saw were green leaves. But then, two eyes opened up and reflected back at them. The two men gasped and instinctively reached for their guns, but before they had to draw and do anything, this creature emerged from the underbrush, and it was just a raccoon. Chris and Jake laughed in relief and then continued walking down the path to Chris's house. They went inside, got Rachel's charger, and then they left and stepped back into the woods. But now, as Chris and Jake walked along this dark path, something just felt different. The crickets seemed to have gotten quieter and the wind had picked up. The owl that had been hooting before must have flown away because it was now strangely quiet, except for the sound of their footsteps and the wind in the trees. They were about 40 feet away from Jake's house when they suddenly heard a twig snap to their left. And so the two men turned to face the noise, and as they did, they heard another sound, a low, raspy growl. And so Jake aimed his flashlight at the bush where these noises had come from, and this time it was obvious it was not a raccoon, because the bushes were literally shaking like some enormous animal was inside of them. And so the two men looked at each other with wide eyes, and without saying a word, they both knew they were thinking the same thing. It's the panther. And so the two men drew their guns and they aimed it at the bush, hoping that this thing would just take off back into the woods. But it didn't. The bush continued to shake like whatever it was gonna leap out. And so the men just opened fire, and they kept on shooting until they heard a new horrible sound. And the second they heard it, they dropped their guns. It would turn out that was not a panther. After Chris and Jake had left the house, Rachel and Autumn decided to pull a prank. They had found some expired eggs in the fridge, and they had decided they would go hide in the bushes near that pathway and pelt the guys with them. When Rachel saw Chris and Jake approaching, she tried to crouch down lower in the bush so as not to be seen, but as she did, she stepped on a twig. And at the same time, in anticipation of their prank, the women started to laugh. They tried to stifle their laughter, but that only made them snort and shake the bushes. And that combination of noises, the snapped twig, the stifled laughter, which sort of resembled a short, raspy growl, and the shaking bushes, signaled to the guys that this was no prank. This was the panther, and if they didn't act, it might attack them. And so they drew their guns, and they began to shoot, until they heard Autumn scream out in horror. Tragically, by the time they had stopped shooting, it was already too late. She had been shot to death. Law enforcement did an investigation into the shooting, and they declared it was just a horrible accident. Everybody was sober, and the two men were carrying their weapons legally, and so no one was ever charged with Rachel's death. And to this day, no one has ever gotten solid evidence that Black Panther even exists. On a snowy morning in 1972, 22-year-old Sotria Kritsonis sat at her bus stop in Seattle, Washington, adjusting her knit cap against the cold. The hat actually still felt pretty weird on her head because just a few days earlier, she had cut her brown hair super short, and so she wasn't quite used to it yet. But despite that, she loved her new hair. In fact, she deliberately worn this big hat to hide her haircut, because this would make the reveal to her friends at school that much better. She glanced up Rainer Avenue for any sign of her bus, but there wasn't one. The city's public transportation system was all out of whack that day because of the weather. Sotria was becoming pretty impatient because now her bus was over an hour late. She'd already missed her first class of the day because of this bus, and now she was in danger of missing her second class. And that's when she heard the beep of a car horn, and a pale yellow Volkswagen Beetle rolled up to the curb right in front of her. Sotria had to squint through the snow, but she could see the silhouette of a man in the driver's seat of this car, and he was rolling down the window of the passenger side and kind of waving her over. Curious, she walked up to the now open window and leaned in, and the warmth coming from inside the car felt great. And this is where Sotria got her first real look at the driver. He was a good-looking guy in his 20s, he was well-dressed, pleasant-seeming, just an overall normal-looking person. He explained that he'd actually been driving on Rainer Ave for a while, and he hadn't seen a bus in a long time, and so he offered to give Sotria a ride to her school. But remember, this is the 1970s, and hitchhiking at the time in America was pretty common, especially on the West Coast where Sotria was. And so pretty quickly, she agreed to get in because she knew this likely was her best chance at making it to school for her second class, and she was freezing. After the man pulled back onto Rainer Avenue, Sotria sat back in the seat, enjoying the warm air blasting out of the vents. And as she did, she looked out the window.
Too close.
Sotria was about to apologize
Alright,
to this guy
I need to get
for
more
making him
ammo.
drive so far out of his way when she heard him turn on his blinker. He was preparing to turn right. And this struck Sotria as odd because, as she had explained to him back on the curb, her school was a straight shot down Rainer Ave. There was no need to turn. So what was he doing? Sotria looked over at the man, expecting him to explain why they were taking this sudden detour. But the man just stared straight ahead. And then a moment later, she heard the blinker turned on again, and she looked up and saw they were about to merge onto Interstate 5 southbound, which was definitely not the way to Sotria's school. And now, Sotria felt a pang of fear.
Oh, that's
She opened her mouth to tell this guy he was going the wrong way, but he cut her off. And he looked at her and he said, "You know, it's a terrible idea to take a ride from a stranger." The man kept on talking as he merged onto the highway, but Sotria was not listening at all. Instead, she was fixated on what he was doing with his right hand. His left hand was on the wheel, but with his right hand, he was fishing for something underneath his seat. And so Sotria's mind began to race. Without taking her eyes off of this man and what he was doing, she traced with her hand and felt for the door handle, but she couldn't feel it. And then she turned and realized there was no door handle. It had been removed. Just then, the man stopped rummaging around underneath his seat. Whatever he was looking for, he had found it. The man sat partway up and looked at Sotria with his hand still hidden behind one of his legs and a determined but emotionless expression on his face. At this point, Sotria felt her heart hammering so hard in her chest that she was worried she might pass out from terror. All she could think about was, what is he hiding behind his leg? What was underneath his seat? But then, something strange happened. The man's face changed from determined and almost cruel to confused. Sotria watched as his eyes darted up to the top of her head. The man told Sotria to take off her hat, and with trembling hands, she did as she was instructed, although she had no idea why he was asking. And when the hat was off her head, the man looked shocked, and he dropped whatever it was he had found back under his seat, and Sotria heard it land with a heavy metallic thud, but she couldn't see it. There was a long, tense silence, and then when the man finally spoke, he just said, "Why did you cut your hair?" The man immediately got off the highway and drove fast to Sotria's school. When they got there, he opened up the door for her and told Sotria to get out and said she was lucky. Then he drove away. Sotria didn't report this encounter to police. She was kind of embarrassed that she had gotten into a stranger's car in the first place, and after all, the guy, despite being really creepy, hadn't hurt her at all. And so she basically just tried to forget about it. But a few years later, in 1975, Sotria was watching TV when she saw a familiar face come onto the screen. It was the man who had given her a ride, being led into a courtroom in handcuffs. Sotria dropped everything and turned up the volume. And what she heard made her numb with horror. Because the newscaster was saying that this man who had given her a ride was a suspected serial killer accused of murdering dozens of young women who he would lure into his pale yellow Volkswagen Beetle and then bludgeon them to death with a crowbar or tire iron. And he had a very specific type when it came to identifying his victims. They were young women who all had long brown hair. This man's name was Ted Bundy.
Bundy?
Me
Not
and the whole
Bundy.
team at MrBallen Studios have created a special thank you to all you amazing fans for all your support. Now, you may have already heard about this. We've love reassess to today. 10 strange dark.
All right. So they're not very
Today,
long.
we have another special bonus video for you. It'll be a collection of 5 more fan-favorite, nightmare-inducing stories. And don't worry, if you've heard or seen these before,
I didn't
because we totally re-edited
check
all
the
of them,
time.
so the viewing experience will be all new. But before we get into
So
those
this
stories,
is a
if
different
you're a fan of
set
Strange,
of
Dark,
stories.
and Mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place, because that's all we do, and we upload once a week. So if that's of interest to you, please sneak into the like button.
So we're gonna run a couple
and
more
reverse all the toilet
stories.
paper rolls. So instead of feeding out from the top, they feed out from underneath like a serial killer. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. Okay, let's get into today's stories. In 2004, Mitch was in his final semester at a college in Louisiana when he met another senior, a wonderful young lady named Kayla. From the instant he saw her, he knew he was in love.
That's kind of funny.
She played hard to get at first, but after several months, he won her over.
She texted
After graduation, the pair stayed in Louisiana and moved in together while they got their careers off the ground. 2 years later, the pair got married, and almost immediately Kayla got
I'm like,
pregnant.
how are you in the ground? You're supposed to be up there.
Really starting to take off, which allowed Kayla
call that
to
a
stay at home and
glitch.
take some time off. By the time their daughter was born, Mitch was making so much money that Kayla decided to just stay home and be a full-time mom. A couple years later, Kayla got pregnant again, and by the time their daughter was 2 years old, they had their son. Mitch adored his children. Every morning before he went to work, he would sneak into their room and he would watch them sleep. And then in the evenings, they would have these big family sit-down meals and then play games together until bedtime. Mitch's life was perfect. Shortly after his son's birth, Mitch was lounging on the couch in his TV room when he noticed out of the corner of his eye the red lamp in the corner of the room. It just looked funny. It was almost like the light itself was blurry, but when he looked a little bit closer at it, the entire lamp looked blurry. And so Mitch looked around the room and nothing else was blurry. He rubbed his eyes and looked back over at this lamp and it was still blurry. He turned the TV off and walked over to the lamp, and even though he was right in front of it,
I remember
the
this
lamp
story.
was still blurry. And Mitch didn't have bad eyesight, and so he's thinking, is there something wrong with me? Am I having a stroke? Do I have an aneurysm? Is there some sort of illness here that's making me see this lamp blurry when it's really not? But Mitch told himself he was healthy and that whatever this was, it was an anomaly and nothing to worry about. And so he went back over to the couch, turned the TV back on, and tried to ignore the lamp. But as he was watching TV, out of his peripheral vision, he couldn't help but notice this weird lamp.
What do we get?
And so finally, he turned the TV off again, and he turned to look at this
How did
lamp.
those two
and now,
things
in
make
addition to
that?
being blurry, it appeared to be upside
that doesn't
down.
make any
Now
sense.
Mitch was genuinely concerned that there was something wrong with him, because again, nothing else in the
well, give me
entire
my
room
PAL
was
back, 'cause I
blurry
need 'em.
or upside down. It was just this lamp. And so a few minutes later, his wife and his kids came home, and Mitch decided he would not tell them about this lamp. He didn't want to alarm them. He figures he will get to the bottom of this blurry lamp, and then he will tell his wife and kids. And so that night, the family has a sit-down meal, and afterwards they play some games together, and then everybody goes upstairs and goes to sleep. But after everyone had gone to sleep, Mitch was just laying in bed thinking about this lamp. And so finally, he snuck out of his bed and went downstairs to the TV room, and he sat on the couch and he just stared at this lamp. And for hours and hours, he just fixated himself on this lamp, watching it kind of morph around and turn upside down and get blurrier and blurrier by the second. The next day, Kayla found Mitch lying on the couch, passed out, and she asked him if he was okay. And again, Mitch didn't tell her about this lamp that was still blurry. He just told her that he wasn't feeling well and he was not going to go to work that day. But Mitch didn't go to work for 3 more days. He just sat on the couch and stared at this lamp. And Kayla obviously picked up on this strange behavior and kept poking and prodding to get more information about what was going on, but Mitch never told her the truth about this lamp. He just kept telling her he felt sick. She urged him to go see a doctor, but Mitch told her it would be fine, he'd get better. And then over time, as this lamp continued to morph and get bigger and get stranger and stranger, Mitch suddenly was unable to respond to his wife. He became totally unresponsive. And so obviously his wife became desperate and called the doctor. And as she's on the phone with the doctor trying to get advice about what to do, Mitch realizes the lamp is now growing in leaps and bounds. And before long, the lamp is the entire size of the room. And all he can see is the red color of this lamp. And then Mitch starts to hear these voices, these screams coming from somewhere in the distance. And then he feels this blinding pain in his head. And then he opens his eyes and he looks up and he sees he's laying on the sidewalk next to one of the buildings at his college in Louisiana. And surrounding him is this crowd of people with wide eyes that are staring at him. Mitch had no idea what was going on, and so he naturally just began scanning the crowd, looking for Kayla and his kids to try to figure out, how he got here. But before he could ask any questions and before he could find his wife and kids, a police officer ran through the crowd, picked him up, and ran him over to his police car, put him in the back, and then began driving away. And so while Mitch is in the back of his police car, he turns to the officer and he says, "What's going on?" And the officer would tell him he was attacked by a huge college football player. He got hit in the head and he fell backwards and he hit his head again and he fell unconscious. Mitch asked the officer where his wife and kids were, and the cop said he had no idea. And that's when it clicked for Mitch. The lamp wasn't real. Neither was his wife, neither was his daughter, neither was his son, neither was his life. For the past 10 years, it was all a
damn, he lived 10 years in like
he was unconscious
10 minutes
after getting attacked. Mitch was brought to the hospital where he would make a full physical recovery, but after being released, he was horribly depressed. And he had to get intense therapy to basically grieve for the loss of his family that never existed. These days, Mitch says he can barely remember what his family even looked like, but periodically in his dreams, he will catch a glimpse of his son in his peripheral vision, and his son is perpetually 5 years old, and he's trying to talk to his father, but Mitch can never understand what he says.
That's nuts. That shit would drive me fucking crazy.
In 2006, a 20-year-old woman named Sarah started having some very strange dreams about a woman named Aurora.
FortNite.
She had a very striking face with sharp features and long black hair.
Oh, sorry.
Now, her dreams varied. Sometimes Sarah was in a crowd of people, or she was at her office, or she was just alone in a room. But
it's funny. I go to post my gaming channel, no matter what game I'm playing, on every Facebook group that I'm a part of. And now this lady's like,
in the crowd or in the background, just watching Sarah. Now, she had these dreams enough.
Says, "Hi there, I took down your post about PalWorld twice now. It's a FortNite group. Let's keep it that way."
And now they're just kind of manifesting in my brain at night when I'm sleeping. And
see
so
how
she began
bullshit
going
these
through her older posts on social media to look in
LEGO
pictures
players
of her
are.
and of her friends to see if there was a woman with striking features and long black hair that was this Aurora person in her dream. But after looking through hundreds and hundreds of pictures, she couldn't find any indication that she had met this person, at least not according to her social media.
If you want, you can take me out of your group, and then you won't have to worry about it anymore.
Typing in Aurora, long black hair, striking features. Has anybody dreamed about this? To see if there were people talking about having this type of dream on the internet.
I'm not trying to be a dick about it. I'm just trying to be real about it.
After 3 or 4 months of having these strange dreams that Aurora was in, Aurora stopped showing up in Sarah's dreams. It was like it suddenly was.
I'm almost all the way at the bottom.
Quickly, Sarah just kind of forgot about it. A few years later, on Halloween night 2009, Sarah and a friend pulled off the highway into a gas station. They had been out with some friends celebrating Halloween, and now they were making their way back home. Sarah pulled into an empty spot right in front of the convenience store, and after they were parked, Sarah and
I really need to
got
mark
out. They
that
went inside,
door.
got some snacks and drinks, and then they came back outside and climbed back into Sarah's car. A few moments later, Sarah had turned her car on, she had backed out, and she had driven past all of the gas station pumps, and she was making her way towards the single-lane strip of road that merged out onto the highway. It was how anybody who got into this gas station got back out onto the highway. And so as she's getting closer to the entrance of this short merge road, her phone suddenly rings. What happens next occurred over a span of just a few seconds. So it might seem like this is over several minutes, but this all happened pretty much simultaneously. So she's pulling up to the entrance of this merge road, her cell phone rings, and because there was no one behind her, it was not a busy night, Sarah decides to just stop her car, put it in park so she can safely take this phone call. And so she stops her car pretty much right in front of the entrance to this merge road, and she picks up her phone, she looks at the number, and she doesn't recognize it, but she picks it up anyways, and she says, "Hello." There was silence on her phone, and as Sarah is saying, "Hello, is anybody there?" another car from the gas station pulls up right behind Sarah's car.
I knew I
they start honking their horn immediately. They're in a huge rush. And so Sarah, who's totally embarrassed that she's blocking traffic, she hangs up the phone, she puts it down, she puts her car back in drive, and she hits the gas. But this driver behind her is apparently in such a rush, they're so impatient, that they actually swerved around her, driving on the dirt off to the side of the road just to get around her, and then they sped off down the merge road back onto the highway. And literally, seconds later, another car that was already on the highway, a silver Honda Civic, lost control and smashed into this car that had just passed Sarah's car. So there's this huge car accident literally right in front of Sarah and her friend, who have now stopped the car. They're right at the end of the merge road looking at this horrible accident that they narrowly escaped. Sarah put her car back in park, she picked up her phone, and she called the police. When the police showed up a few moments later, they took down Sarah and her friend's version of events, and then a little while later, after the ambulances had left and
that's
after
where
the
I found
two
the
cars had been
egg.
pulled off of the highway, one of the police officers pulled Sarah aside and told her that the driver of the Honda Civic and the driver of the car that had swerved around her had both
where's
been
that?
killed
Where's
in the
that? Where's
accident.
that?
Shocked, the only thing Sarah could think to do was to call
I gotta get
back
there
that
because there might be
number she
another
recognized that
meteor,
effectively
pal.
stopped her from getting
Where?
onto the
Where?
highway.
Oh.
Stopped her from being hit by that Honda
Okay.
Civic. And so she wanted to talk to this person and thank them for saving her life. But when
Come on,
she
get
called
off!
back, the person did not pick up. However, it went to her voicemail, and it said, "Hi, you've reached Aurora. Leave your name and number after the beep." Sarah could not believe it. She said she had never felt goosebumps like that in her entire life. The next day, Sarah tried calling the number again, and this time the woman, Aurora, answered the phone. The two got to talking, and Sarah explained her crazy dreams and now this crazy car crash thing and how it's all connected. And Aurora would tell Sarah, like, that's amazing. This is a crazy story you're telling me, except I didn't call you last night. I have no idea how you got my phone number. And so at the end of this phone call,
Come here,
the
big
women
guy.
had not reached any sort of
I'll
explanation
take two of you.
how this came to be, how they came to be talking. But they ultimately just said, okay, hey, you know,
Stay.
thanks and best of luck to you. And then they hung up. After the
Come
call was
on,
over,
stay in there.
Sarah found
There you
herself
go.
sitting there, not really sure how to react to what had just happened. It was such a totally
Alright, watch
bizarre
my back, big
thing
guy.
that she had just been through over
Give
the
you
past
some food in a
24
second.
hours, and then if you include the dream, this has been a multi-year long thing. And so on a whim, Sarah just opens up her Facebook account and she plugs in Aurora's full name, because Aurora had given her her full name on this phone call they had just had. And when she looked at her phone, when the results came in, Sarah nearly fainted. Right at the top of the results page was this woman, Aurora's Facebook account. And her profile picture showed her face. And when Sarah looked at her face, it was the exact same face she had seen so many times in her dreams. It was the same Aurora with the striking features and long black hair. The woman in her dreams was the woman who called her and saved her life.
Huh. That's crazy. Alright, we want to make sure... Yeah, okay.
In 2006, 73-year-old Sherman Sizemore was the definition of a man.
I want to make sure I don't
He had
fall
spent
off the
bulk
wrong
of his
side again.
adult life doing one of the most dangerous jobs in the world, mining
And then
for
we'll
coal
just
in West
mark
Virginia.
this
And while
cave
he was a coal
entrance so
miner,
we
he
know where
apparently
it's
had lost
at.
track of the amount of times he had nearly been killed from mine shaft collapse and gas leaks. Later on in life, after his kids had all grown up, he had retired from coal mining and become an ordained Baptist minister. And despite his harrowing backstory and burly, intimidating appearance, he was known to be incredibly gentle and very calming to his parishioners. He was also known to be an incredibly devoted grandfather, to the point where if there was a chance to spend time with his grandkids, he would basically throw all of his responsibilities out the window to do that. But in January of that year, something changed in Sherman. He went from being this pillar
I just
in the
wasted all my
community
ammo.
to being a deranged, paranoid lunatic. It all started on the afternoon of January 19th. Sherman and his wife Ruby were sitting in their home alone on the couch, just kind of doing their own things, when suddenly, out of the blue, Sherman just starts screaming as if he sees something in front of him that's terrifying him. And his screams startled Ruby so that she started screaming, and so she looks at her husband, and he's still just looking straight out ahead. He's terrified of something in front of him, and so Ruby looks from him to where he's looking, and there's nothing there. And so she turns back to her husband, and she's like, what's going on? What are you screaming for? What are you so scared of? But Sherman wasn't able to speak. After he stopped screaming, he just continued to look straight out as if whatever had terrified him had him in this trance where he couldn't look away. And so his eyes are wide, his mouth is open, his face is going white, he's starting to sweat, and Ruby's starting to panic. She has no idea.
All right, get in there, panda boy.
And so eventually she just holds on to him and says, come back to me, come back to me. And Sherman at some point he kind of broke out of his trance, and he looked at his wife, and he just says, you can't leave me or they'll kill me. Ruby has never seen behavior like this in her husband ever. This is a completely different person she's interacting with, and so she has no idea what to do. And so instead, she just kind of holds on to Sherman and prays that he doesn't start acting like that again. But that didn't happen. All day long, periodically, he would just start screaming about something that Ruby couldn't see. Now, Ruby did consider calling 911 and getting medics out there, but his behavior was so unusual, and he was normally such a rock who was so competent, who was so healthy that she didn't want to. She felt like he would just kind of get through this, that if they could just get through today and get into tomorrow, that he would be better. And so she just all day was comforting him and just dealing with these episodes. And then finally they got into bed that night, and Ruby's thinking, thank goodness, we're going to wake up tomorrow and things
only
will
got
be
20
better.
rounds
when she
left.
woke up the next morning, it was
Know what I
very
should
obvious
do.
that Sherman had not slept at all. He was looking straight up at the ceiling. He looked worse than the day before. It was obvious that he was not back to normal. And so Ruby called the rest of the family and had them come over to figure out what they were going to do. But when Sherman found out his family was coming to his house, he told Ruby they can't come inside. He was afraid they and others were conspiring to bury him alive. The only person he could be around was Ruby, and his whole family had no idea what to do. Little did they know, there was actually a very specific reason he was acting the way he was. A few months before January 19th, which was the day Sherman turned into this different person, a few months earlier, he began complaining of severe abdominal pains. And so he and his wife Ruby and his daughter, they went to the hospital, and the doctor, after examining him and running some tests, determined that most likely his pain was coming from his gallbladder. But the only way to be sure would be to do some exploratory surgery and literally look inside of Sherman's gut and look at his gallbladder and see if that was the problem. So the doctor asked Sherman, are you prepared to do an exploratory surgery, or would you like to just kind of wait it out and see what happens with his pain? And so Sherman talked it over with his wife and his family, and they made the decision that the pain was just too much, and so they would go forward with the surgery. And so on the morning of January 19th, so again, this is the day that Sherman basically loses his mind, he goes into the hospital completely normal. He goes in with his wife, he goes in with his daughter, and he makes his way over to the surgery wing of the hospital. He says bye to his family, and he's put on a stretcher bed, and he's wheeled in and prepped for surgery, and then brought into the operating room. And while he was in the operating room, laying on his stretcher bed, flat on his back, looking straight up at all these bright lights above him, he just struck up some chit-chat with the nurses and doctors who were in the room, prepping the room for surgery, and they were also putting the IV into his arm. Then at some point, one of the nurses lowered the oxygen mask onto Sherman's face so the anesthesiologist could administer the 2-drug cocktail that would knock him out from the surgery. Sherman was scheduled to get something known as general anesthesia for this operation, where basically he would be completely out, he wouldn't feel anything, they'd do the surgery, and then he would wake up in recovery. And so once this mask was on Sherman's face, the anesthesiologist began pumping him full of the drugs that would make him be knocked out from the surgery. However, the anesthesiologist only administered one of the 2 drugs necessary for general anesthesia. He administered the paralyzing drug, but he did not administer the actual anesthetic that would knock him out, and most importantly, would get rid of all of his pain. And so as this mask is on his face and Sherman believes he's being given the proper dosage of drugs, the nurse who was nearby told Sherman to go ahead and start counting backwards in his head from 10, knowing full well that Sherman would pass out before he reached 0. And Sherman knew this too. He had been in surgery before, and so he happily began counting in his head. 10, 9, 8, he started to feel something. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom, he was out. Except he wasn't. When he reached 0 in his head, counting down, he realized he had not passed out. He began taking mental stock of what was going on, and he realized he could completely feel his body,
But when he tried to move his body, he couldn't. He was completely paralyzed. When he tried to make a sound, he couldn't because his vocal cords were also paralyzed. The only thing he could move were his eyes. He could move them left and right. However, they had taped his eyes shut, so he can't see anything. And so Sherman is thinking to himself, okay, you know, I've been given the drugs, maybe they're slow acting, any minute now I'm gonna drift off to sleep and this will just be a distant memory. But after a few seconds, he's hearing the doctors and nurses in the room. He can't see them, but he hears them. They seem to be moving towards doing this operation, and he's still awake.
Get him.
And so Sherman becomes frantic and starts flicking his eyes left and right as fast as he possibly can. And the
There we
rapid
go.
eye movement
Much
actually
better.
loosened the tape on both of his eyelids, and it created a...
Ah, come on!
And what he saw terrified him. He saw
Ah,
him
you
walking over
fucking
next to
serious
him
right
with
now,
gloves
dude?
on, and then the surgeon says,
All right.
scalpel. And the nurse hands him this chrome metallic blade, and the surgeon takes the blade and begins...
Alright, I'm sorry, Mr. B. I need some beat. I need some beat. I'm about to beat this shit right now. Alright. I know I can beat that. Definitely mind that. I don't need no more of those. I got a bunch of those. Ah. Every time I come over here, man. I mean, I got the squad to beat him. I just keep putting in the wrong guys. Oh, wait. Just need a few pieces real quick. Don't trip. We're gonna beat them right now. No, we're not doing LEGO anymore until the update. I think it's tomorrow. That game's Beaujolais. I'm over it. I don't know, I guess they're adding some new, what are they adding? Some new builds. I think a new area. Oh, and get this. I just saw Mr. CPG's page. They're adding more brutes. They're adding more brutes. I hope you guys are excited for that. More of the same. More of the same garbage, monsters. So I hope you guys are excited for that. They're adding more brutes. Woo. And the only people that get to see this new, toy that they put out are, people that have, that are like, YouTubers that are monetized. They're the only ones who get to actually see that. None of you guys are ever going to be able to get that. It's not going to be a toy you guys will ever be able to own. That's why I'm like, F that. Once I get to 100 subs, I want to do the giveaway, and then I sent an email to the PalWorld partner program because I'm trying to get on the PalWorld partner program. So hopefully we can do that. Damn, that egg's been... Oh, I didn't mean to do that! Oh, I forgot to turn that off. Why can't I jump? Oh, I'm way down. I was like, why can't I jump? What the hell? I did not mean to do that, even though I know that's what it was. They're all rush rooms. None of them are anything different, so not really, damn it, worried about it. Let's put that incubator back up. It's because I had that fire right there, that's why it wouldn't let me put it there again. I think eventually I'm going to move all of the incubators upstairs to the upstairs spot. Because the fire guys keep just trying to do this, like heating these things up, and I don't need them I don't need it heated up all the time. I can just add more fires to it. Let's so we gotta die and respawn again real quick. So yeah, we'll be doing the scary stories. I'm gonna be looking for more of those, but I want it to be at night where I have like the light on and it's just me just sitting here gaming, listening to scary stories. So if you guys are interested in that, I'm trying to get all that set up right now. I tried to do it earlier. I forgot the mic was off, and then I keep forgetting, like, people like to hear the beat. Oops. I need to lower this down, because then I won't be able to hear the game. To go in here. So remember, you guys can get in here. Oops. You gotta be super close though in order to get inside here. Is it you? Oh, and just remember, if you want these pals to keep cycling out, you have to fly over. You have to not fly away. You have to, when you respawn, you gotta make sure you spawn away from your town, because if you don't, then the vendor won't spawn back. Yeah, this thing wastes so many rounds, and I know people are saying, like, you could make those, but it's like, dude, you get free money in this game, just buy it. When you get to the point where you can start making it, and it's not like taking up all your materials to make ammo, then sure, go for it. Oh shit, I won't be able to do that one. Let's see how many we can get. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, and that'll bring us back up to 106. No! I don't like those buttons being right there. They should be on the side. I think that's all I need. What does this red guy got? I need to find a trader. I don't know if they even have one, but that has like dark abilities, or I just need to go out and find a tree that has dark abilities. Oh yeah, so once you do, you know what, let's go get that guy first. We don't need more ends for that. I just needed ends for the for the bullets. And I can't believe that I've... Yeah, okay, I just wanted to make sure I had everybody in the squad. Like, I've had this guy trapped before. My bad. I had to get my food source up. Should I go grab that effigy? I should probably go grab that. After I beat this guy, I need to figure out how to get my Jet Dragon. I need to figure out how to get him because, yeah, this flying around at fucking... Flying around at a snail's pace is getting a little annoying. Where's that damn effigy at? Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, I just saw the damn thing. And then since I've already marked the cave, this is just, I'm just grabbing this just so I have it. I think I'm only at like 5 or 6. I think I can only put 4 more of these into that anyway. And then, yeah, we're already at 40. Oh, what is that? Oh. Like 41, 42, 42. So once we get to like 45, we're just gonna come out here and smash these effigies. We're gonna get as many as we can. We'll probably do like maybe a run and a half just to try to make sure we have all of these, because these will I don't want to say come in handy later, but if you guys have played the game, you know that once you max out, once you get to like level 55, or it's either 50 or 55, you can't get any more. So you want to like make sure you get enough of these while you can, because once you get to that max level, you won't be able to get any more. So when I start doing my speed run, that's going to be one of the things I focus on. Right now, this is not a speed run. This is just me learning the game, trying to, you know, figure out all the mechanics, the jump, the dodge, and all that. Evander. I don't know why they even thought that would be a cool design. I mean, it's alright, but... Oh, it's over there? What? Oh, yeah. It's on the side of that cliff. Alright, for the 999,999th time, we're gonna try this again. slow. Weighed down by what? What did I pick up? I don't need that. Can I move now? Thank you. I was like, I don't need to be able to not run, because then I won't be able to get away. Let's swap. Let's go with... We'll go with this guy for now, so he can drop bombs. Oh wait, no. We gotta go with Mozanda Lux. So we can... Ooh, get these off. Miss with these. Ah, missed one. Alright, Lux. Oh, shit. Damn, it got me with that. Alright. We're gonna stay right here. We're gonna let our health, our shield go back up. Mozanda's in there doing his thing. Did he come this way yet? Whoa! Shit! Okay. He was already waiting for me to do that. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Where's he at? Where's he at? Ah, why are you in the way? Well, I don't care. Super punch him. Where the hell is he? Oh, he's right there. He did pretty good. Okay, he was doing pretty good. There we go. So we'll let these two go at it for a minute. Oh! Did you not have a full clip or something? Gotcha. Uh-oh. Trying to come through here again. Woo! That's it. That's it. Time for some. Ooh. Damn it. Got me stuck. We're gonna stay back here. Get some health back. Oh shit, you're almost dead, huh? Oh, get him, big guy. muted. Oh, okay, I was gonna say. Am I gonna try and go back there and get mishandled again? I think they're both kind of glitched right now, which is fine. I need to let my health go back up a bit. Just for a minute, we're gonna stretch. Oh, did he go back? Is that what happened? He went back? Because I don't see him anywhere. Where'd he go? Did he go back in there? He did. Oh shit! Here he comes. Here he comes, big guy. Ah. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? I want to make sure he's guarding me before I try to go out too far. Come on, that's gotta fucking catch you, dude. Seriously? Where's he at? Just want to make sure when I throw it again, I don't miss. Stay in the goddamn ball, homie. Seriously? Can't fucking see him. Where is he? Ah! Where the hell is he? Alright. You know what? Fine. Eventually he's gonna have to come back out here. Oh, I'm gonna die! Oh, I'm gonna die from that. Come on, turn off, turn off. Okay. Damn, I was about to die from that. I should have on that instead. And then that's fine with me if he's gonna be stuck in the ceiling. You know what I could do? I could just go grab this real quick. Oh, I did not. Ancient tech manual, I fucking need that. Thank you. I don't need any of that. Ah! I knew he was gonna spawn back there again. Oh. Shit. Well, at least I got the manual. Damn it! All that fucking ammo wasted, dude. Why does he get stuck in the fucking ceiling? I'm just gonna have to fucking wax him. Alright, let's put everything down. Let's put Yormantide right on this for a minute. Just for a minute. minute. Let's go this. That. Oh, we're gonna sell those for cash in a minute. Do I have anything else? No. Come on here. Nope. That's a high price item too. Food. Oh, I forgot those. That. Drop that in there. Used to obtain ancient technology points. I mean, it only gives you one, so we'll save that for right now until we need it. I'm on top of it. I only need one of you guys anyway to sell. Oops, wrong thing. So... oh no, it's trying to sell my damn pals. No! I want to sell stuff. Thank you. Oh, that. So eggs don't count for shizzle dizzle. Alright, let's do that. 11,000. We back up to 15. That's good. How many bullets we got? None. Shit. We gotta get some. Oh, it's only gonna let us get 93. Alright, let's grab 93. Oops. Oh, wait. Oh, I need refined ingots. Let's get that going. Come back here, big guy. Alright, we can't keep wasting those. But he doesn't want to stay, little bastard. So we're gonna try this one more time. Whoa, that's a crazy ass island right there. I didn't see that before. Is that something new? You know what? Let's grab that. Fast travel real quick. I didn't even know there was a fast travel right here. I wonder if there's a boss right here. There might be a boss battle right here. There is. That's crazy. There's a boss battle right here. Okay. I didn't see this one here before. Oh, it's an arena. What? Alright, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back. Oh my god. Sorry, guys. Coffee just went right to me. My bad, my bad, my bad. I'm not gonna do this arena. I just wanted to get the, I believe this is the, where you just keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again, but we're not trying to do that right this second. I want to get this damn thing done today before I leave. This is the only one that I haven't finished as far as like the low level stuff. I mean, the high level stuff I don't mind dying to. It's this low level shit that's pissing me off. So we're gonna try to get this done real quick. And guys, be careful with your coffee, man. The stronger you make it, the faster it wants you to do stuff with your body that you may not want to do while you're trying to live stream. Up, up, up. Big uppies. Big uppies. Big uppies. There we go. Alright, where's... It's on the other side. Where's the others? Ooh, that we need because we're trying to save for the doggy coins. I want to try to get a couple of extra slots. So I've been saving up my dog coins. Let's go with that. And you know what's funny? Those manuals just keep popping back up in here. Oops. Why is my screen all red like that? Is it because of the armor that I'm wearing? Oh, my shield is broken. Okay. Well, thanks for telling me, guys. That's why I'm taking so much damn damage. Damn damage. But yeah, that's why I'm taking so much damage. No, come here, big guy. Where'd he go? Go get him, Xanda. See, he just wants to keep trying to come get me. I'm not even shooting at you, buddy. That's what you want. I mean, we can go there. Come here, Mozanda. Ooh! Damn it. Come on. There we go. Ooh. 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 Oh. I'm dead. Oh. Oh yeah, get him, fire pet. Is he facing the wrong direction? He is. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, move. I want him to turn around. I don't have enough health to take another fucking hit. Turn around, damn it. Oh, that's fine. If he wants to be stuck in the wall right there fighting that guy, it's fine with me. I just don't want to start throwing spheres at him until he's like almost dead. My guy's just gonna keep flaming him. I might be able to take one more hit if I can get there in time. Oh, did he kill him? It did kill him. Shit. Wait a minute. If I killed him, then why didn't it? Oh, it did. Okay. I don't mind not capturing it. I do mind not killing it. Yeah, you're dead. God damn. I did want to capture it, but I'm not that worried about it. I really wanted to kill more than anything. I wasn't that hyped for that one because it wasn't that big of a deal. Alright. 47. We don't really want to push our luck too much. Hey, there's a skill fruit tree right there. I do need to come down here and start exploring this area more. I know there's more fire spots over there. There might even be some dungeons over there. Ooh, purple chest. Let's go. Gigaspheres. Not bad. Bitch. Relax. Really? Get in the ball. Get in the ball. Thank you. You want to get over here? Oh, you're stuck, huh? Don't be stuck, big guy. We got stuff to do. I need a drizzle. Yeah, I'll do it. No, we want to get closer this way. Right here sounds about good. Come here, buddy. Wait, where's the... There it is. Yeah, let's go here real quick. Nothing good anyway. I mean, that's just gonna open the island. Let's go that way. Damn, we should have went to that one, huh? Alright. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Oh, what is that? There we go. I was like, why am I on fucking fire? What is that? Ooh, that's a lot of ore right there. Is that ore or is that sulfur? It might be sulfur. Ooh, makeshift handgun schematic. Yeah, that looks like sulfur. Where are you? Nope, that's ore. Alright. That's a cool little ore spot. Nice and flat. Yep. Wants me to go uppies. Big uppies. Let's go. Yo. Let's grab that. Nice. Look at all that sulfur. Don't. Damn it. Right when I get to a new area, you piece of shit. Right when I get to a new area. Gotta love PalWorld though. For being in its alpha beta stages, like, they're doing as best they can with it. I know it's gonna roll me back a little bit. Hopefully not too damn far. No! Get the fuck out of here, dog. You're not gonna fucking start doing that shit to me again. Hold on, let me close this. Let's open it again. I might have to log in to my phone real quick so it'll sync up the data again. See, it says beta pre-release. Don't play with me right now, game. No! God damn it. Hold on, guys. Let me grab my phone. I don't know what the hell is up with this game today. It's because the game, like, desyncs, so it doesn't, understand what's going on sometimes. So, I gotta grab my phone and actually sync it up to, like, get the memory back. So it's gonna say, what game do you want to sync up? Or at least it should. Dude, don't fucking play with me, game. If this game just deleted all my data, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. But this has happened to me before. I just have to get it to sync right. It's because the game crashed and it desynced. See, there it is. Oh, gotcha. It's because I was synced in somewhere else. Sync last saved data point. See, when you switch devices, you can get that to sync back up. You just gotta log into another device, and then that new device. What the fuck? No. Don't tell me you just deleted all my fucking data. Don't tell me you just deleted all my fucking data. That's gonna be depressing. It is set to cloud gaming. What are you talking about? That's gonna be super depressing. if that just fucking happened right now. Dude, that shit took me so long, dude. Okay, I have to... Fuck, that is gonna be so depressing, bro. No way. Oh, it just zeroed out my fucking server. It just fucking zeroed out my server. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Did they just zero out my server? They just zeroed out my server. Did they? Oh, wow, dude. I'm gonna have to wait and try to sync this up with something else. Because they just fucking zeroed out my server. I'm gonna have to shut the stream down for a minute so I can figure out what the hell just happened. But, yeah. It, looks like it just zeroed out my server. Not that I'm mad. I know the game has been having issues. But, yeah. I don't know if you guys have had this issue, but I'm going to try to sync up with my other device. I don't know why it just did that. But, like I always say, please like, comment, subscribe, turn on all notifications so you always get notified of new videos, even crashes. And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace!